To the Runpreneur vlog, and today I'm delighted to have my good friend and somebody who works for one of the amazing charities, Internet Watch Foundation, Mr. Neil Prowse, with me today, and we're going to dive deep into the amazing charity and the good work they do. We're also going to find out a little bit more about Neil's role, and we're going to talk about how people can help and get involved with this amazing charity. So as always, the Runpreneur vlog is part of the Runpreneur challenge, which is our mission to save the lives of children by raising a staggering £1 million for 6 amazing children's charities, which between them cover the whole spectrum of issues affecting children on a global scale. Now we're going to do this by run vlogging on consecutive days the distance of 1 lap around the world. To put it in perspective, it's a 12-year challenge of daily or consecutive daily running. We have to do at least 5 kilometres every day whilst vlogging, and I even do it barefoot style. 40,075 kilometres, or just shy of 25,000 miles. So that, hopefully that puts in perspective what we're trying to accomplish. So welcome, Neil. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Kevin.
So first I'd like to ask you a little bit about the charity. Now, Internet Watch Foundation, I could give it an intro, but this is somebody who knows far more about the amazing work that the charity does. So if you can just tell us a little bit about Internet Watch Foundation, what you do and how you help the children.
Sure, absolutely. Well, first of all, it's a pleasure to be here with you, and thank you very much for choosing IWF, Internet Watch Foundation. Guess this is going to test my knowledge because I've only been there for 4 months, but certainly do my best to give it justice today. So the IWF, based in Histon near Cambridge, it's a registered charity, not for profit. It's an NGO, so we're independent from government, and our remit is very, very specific. We were set up 25 years ago to tackle the growing problem of explicit, illegal images of children, sexual images of children online. So our vision is the elimination of child sexual material online. Child sexual abuse material online.
Okay, no, this is something that I was really passionate about having as part of the 6 charities, because I feel that internet exploitation of children is something that is growing at an alarming rate, and it's something that I don't think has been focused on enough until amazing charities like Internet Watch Foundation have got involved. And would it be fair to say, Neil, that you're only scratching the tip of the iceberg of the overall problem at hand? Can you give us some idea about how vast this issue is?
Well, it's a constant fight, because as much as we work for industry, we obviously work closely with government, other charities, the police, to identify, block, remove, report any illegal images of children, and every step that we collectively, all of the good players in the world and wanting to do tech for good, use tech for good, make the internet what it's there for, to be safe and help us all. Sadly, there are people who want to abuse that. They want to share explicit content of children for their own gratification and others, or for commercial gain themselves. So yes, you can look at it in 2 ways. One, it's a very negative thing, and you can tell the story of that quite easily. Lots and lots of examples, cases, but equally you can tell a very positive story about it, that how people and organisations are working together to stop it. When the IWF was founded 25 years ago, about 17-18% of this kind of material was hosted on UK platforms. Since we've been in existence in the last several years, this has been maintained at less than 0.01%, and that's because we work very effectively with multiple stakeholders from multiple sectors. And that's what we're trying to spread around the world. We're UK based, but we operate globally. The internet has no boundaries, so these images can be uploaded, let's say in Asia, they can be hosted in Europe and downloaded and viewed in North America. So that's the extent of the problem.
Wow, it's a scary world we live in when you explain it in those terms. And what would you say to anybody who comes across anything that needs to be reported to charities like yourself to kind of work with the required organisations to kind of eradicate this? How's the best way to get in contact with you guys, and what is the process?
So in the UK we are the official reporting portal for exactly that. You can anonymously report images if you stumble across images and you think it depicts someone underage but you're not sure, but you think it's wrong. Go to iwef.org.uk, go to find our report button, and then you can anonymously upload not the image, the link. So all we want to know is where you've seen this. So that's like the web page, the URL link. That goes into our highly trained team of analysts in Histon, in Cambridge. And bear in mind, they also get reports from 38 reporting portals around the world, all different countries, come directly into us, as well as fed to us from UK public sector, the police, etc. And our job, our analysts, eyes on, is to look at those images to verify, are they illegal? If yes, what category are they? We've got in the UK 3 categories, A, B and C, of illegal child sexual abuse material. Category A being by far the worst, B still very bad, C, interestingly, still illegal, but a growing trend. 2/3 of our reports received and confirmed this year have been from self-generated images. So these are images that our children have been tricked, coerced, groomed, manipulated, bribed into sharing explicit images of their bodies and their parts, thinking it's going to a friend, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, but it's not at all. It's going to someone trying to get that image, that first image, to then use to share around the world, make money from it. And once they have one image, that's it. They can then threaten the child. If you don't give me more, tell your parents, tell your mates, tell your school.
Yeah.
And it's a cycle.
That's a scary proposition. Let's just slow it down a bit, Neil, because Neil's an elite runner, I might add. And when you start speaking on this, when we start going a bit too quick, but that's really quite alarming. And I have a young daughter who's only 8 years of age. I know Neil has children as well, and I think it's a really scary prospect, the thought that children can be groomed on social media or on the internet in some capacity to be able to film themselves and to take indecent images of themselves, which is really, really alarming. So what would you say to any parent out there? How can we police this better? But before you say that, just to let people know as well, if you have something to report and you didn't get the website address, we'll be putting the details with this post so that you can drive it in, or you can go to the link in the bio, which will go to the Runpreneur Challenge website, and we have links directly through to Internet Watch Foundation. So if you have got anything to report, it should be very easy to find that link. And so what would you say to parents out there, Neil? What can we do to police this? Is there any guidance or anything that you can direct people to help avoid this?
Absolutely. And Kevin, I'll give you some links to share
Amazing.
if that's okay.
Yep, 100%.
We have some campaigns, prevention awareness campaigns running right now. So that's just also part of our work. We want to stop it happening in the first place. So we've got, adults, parents, carers. The internet's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. There are bad users of it. And that's what we have to make sure that our children are aware of. So we've got two campaigns. A talk campaign, focusing on the parents and carers to openly talk to their children, set boundaries, understand the kind of sites that their children are working on or are using, and just have those open discussions. And it's okay, to don't remove devices, but just make them understand the possible dangers and make them aware of what's out there. And then our other campaign is Girls Out Loud, girls spelt with a U, G-U-R-L-S, which, just a bit of background on that, so during the pandemic, obviously, all of our children have been studying from home, which means a lot more time online. And the result of that is our reports and images have spiked in the issue of those uploading self-generated images, particularly girls from the ages of 11 to 13. So our Girls Out Loud campaign uses social media influencers, very well known, mainly females, that put the message straight across in a way that our kids understand and listen to, and on the channels and platforms that they would typically use. And that has had tremendous success. And we had it for 3 months, funded for 3 months, and pleased to say we've just got some additional funding to run it through the school holidays. And it's just, as I said, making children and the parents be alert to the possibilities of being groomed online.
Okay, well, thanks. That's an amazing campaign, and I think what we'll make sure is that all the links for these campaigns are published with this vlog episode, so you can find out more about these campaigns, because I'm not making assumptions here, but there will be children out there that are in such a dire situation with blackmail that they'll be having suicidal thoughts and these things, and by getting involved, making people aware, these cases can be avoided, and if you report them to the right organisations such as Internet Watch Foundation, they can be eradicated and stopped, which is ultimately the goal. So,
and those images, when we get them, we hash them, so that image has a digital fingerprint, unique digital fingerprint, and then we put this into licensed lists that organisations who are members of ours, they take a list and they block those sites. They block the sites, they block the images, or don't allow the images to be viewed.
That's oh, sorry.
So yeah, and if that content has been viewed and classified as illegal, we block the website until the content is taken down.
That's amazing, and I think that's really important to know that that these images and where they go, if they're stopped at source, then they can't get spread too far afield, which is so important. So the next thing we'll talk about, Neil, is your role within Internet Watch Foundation. So what's your role, and if you can just give us a bit of detail around that, that'd be amazing.
My role is I'm development manager, in charge of our development team. Group of amazing team I've inherited since joining. Very well informed on their subject matter, so I'm blessed with that. And our remit is we look after how the IWF is funded. So we look after our memberships, We look for new memberships, which could be ISPs, finance companies, filtering companies, all kinds of setups. We've got some universities, and they come in in return for having their platforms protected. They help fund us. That's their funding model. In addition to that, grant applications, they can be quite lengthy and restricted or unrestricted revenue sources, meaning that some of them you can use it in any area you wish, and some have to be specifically set up or used for a project, for example, to deliver that. And finally, the fundraising, general fundraising, donations, which brings me to Kevin, my friend here, Kevin. Anything that can encourage funds to come in, like you said, Kevin. Every penny come in can help to deliver a certain thing or action. It's the same for us. You know, go to our website, you'll see that a certain donation will fund a counselling session for our analyst teams who have to day in, day out look at these images. And there's a number of things that, you know, there's a specific gain from that money. So that's my job. Our team's job is to work with the whole of IWF and industry to bring in a revenue to keep us operational. That's amazing, Neil, and you know, it's people like yourselves, and I cannot think what those analysts must experience on a daily basis. And the only thing I can put it into perspective with is I've worked with Childline in the past as well, when they're dealing with suicidal children as well, and what you can see out there that goes on in this world that we live in, that so many of us are protected in our little bubbles that we live in. This stuff really happens, and it's people like the Internet Watch Foundation and their analysts that will genuinely save the lives of children, which is so important to what the Runpreneur Challenge is about. So yeah, it's amazing what you do, Neil. Really, really amazing. And I now want to go on to a little bit about running, because we've talked a lot about the Internet Watch Foundation.
Are we there yet?
But Neil Prowse is something of an exceptional runner. I struggle to keep up with him these days, and he's got several years on me. I won't go into detail on that, but he's probably fitter than me. He can run further than me, so I'm trying to match him in fundraising activity. That might be the only way I can kind of compete with this man. So I'd like to ask you how long you've been running, and why do you run?
I think you once told me that bad smell that was getting closest to your PBs until that smell went in front. How long have I been running? Started running when I was, I'll tell you my age, at 41. I'm now 51, so 10 years. When I lived in Mallorca in Spain, I could barely run 2 laps on an athletics track before needing to go and have a beer. And I just met a mate. He said, let's just get a bit fitter. Just build it up over time. Before you know it, you know, we've done a 5k, then we go, well, let's sign up for an event. Sorry. Just quickly before Neil goes on, to put it into perspective, we're running here whilst talking, okay? So talking whilst running is resistance training. You don't get into an actual breathing rhythm. And we're running around about 5-minute kilometre pace, which is 8-minute per mile pace. And he's just effortlessly chatting away here. You can see how sweaty I'm getting because I'm wiping my eyes every few minutes. So back to your 10-year running journey, Neil. Sorry about that.
And it's exactly that. It's a journey, and it's a journey of lots of highs and lows. You know, do you think you're always improving? Absolutely not. But one thing I firmly believe is consistency. Keep going. When you feel rubbish, it's okay. We're all going to feel rubbish. you know, but that's how you enjoy the good run. You've had the rubbish run before. And I've just built up that resistance over time, strengthened the legs, and the mental know-how, how to approach running and how to approach events, and particularly races, and maybe you're gunning for a time, or to beat Kevin here. So, you know, and that's just people starting out now. Well, it takes time. Just persevere. I run because it makes me feel good. I enjoy it. Got a good bunch of mates from various towns and countries actually. We go out, we have a laugh. It's not always serious. But personally, it's something I actually feel I'm reasonable at. I'm quite good at. I'm not the best at all, but in my life it's always been never quite achieved, but I feel like I've achieved something with running, and that's what I love about it.
Well, it's really good to hear, and Neil's very modest because he's 51 years of age, and if he can pull out, I think he did a marathon in 3 hours 23, was it, Neil?
Yep.
So if you're 51 years of age, you can do that. I might just add, because there is an inner competitor in me as well. He only has me on marathon PB. I do have him on the shorter distances, but we might race again one day, Neil, but I've got to try and run every day, and I'm supporting you in a very different way. But
do you know what? I think the good thing about that is when you do beat my marathon, and you will one day, I'll be so happy for you, because personally that's an achievement for you.
Absolutely, and I think the thing that I'll say about Neil is that we've drove each other on so much over the last few years, and also we've been through some pretty tough times together running, and you can draw upon those experiences, and I think you for me anyway, you develop a unique friendship with people that you run with, and you can see how far they push themselves, how much heart they have. You know, this guy will run through walls for anyone, so he is a very much an elite runner, certainly in his age category, and I won't have him say anything other than that. So the one thing I took from that as well, Neil, is that running makes you feel good.
Yes.
And there's something that I want to put on the map with people out there. I mean, people know about the Runpreneur challenge. I've been running this is day 430 today, so a long time. I'm not even 10% of the way there on my journey of consecutive days running. But what I will say is there's no coincidence, in these last 430 days my life has been so much better in so many areas. We're talking mental, spiritual, financial, you know, my family, everything just seems to be better in my world, and I don't think there's a coincidence that that's linked to when I started this running vlog. And I think the other thing that I get is that the positive endorphins that running gives you is that some days I wake up and I just don't feel up to it, and we all have those kind of groggy days, but by getting out there and running, those positive endorphins turns a negative or unproductive day for me into a very positive and productive one. And would you say that's something that you can resonate with, Neil?
100%. Days I've been out running, when I've consistently done it, I get up in the mornings, I might be knackered, I might be drained, but my energy levels, physically drained, but my energy levels and my positiveness is there because I've run. And it's 100% from the exercise I'm getting, and it just drives a good feeling in you.
Absolutely, and I think, you know, like I say, proof is in the pudding. This is a guy who's 51 years old. He's fitter than people less than half his age, and that's no understatement there. So physical and mental benefits from running. So let's draw it to a close now. So thank you so much, Neil, for really giving us some enlightening information about Internet Watch Foundation. This isn't the last time we'll see Neil. There'll be lots of times that myself and Neil work together on really telling the story behind the scenes of what this amazing charity does and how it genuinely saves the lives of children. If you want to find out more about the amazing campaigns and how you can help eradicate this growing global issue. All the links will be posted along with this blog episode. If you're struggling for that, you can always just search for me, go to the links in my bios, and there's direct links from my website that takes you straight through to Internet Watch Foundation, where you can report any form of sexual exploitation of children. So finally, I'll leave you with thank you very much, Neil. And
thank you very much.
And as always, this vlog is part of the Runpreneur Challenge, which is our mission to save the lives of children by raising a staggering £1 million for 6 amazing charities, of which Internet Watch Foundation is one of them. And between those 6 charities, they cover the whole host of issues across on a global scale that affects children.
This man's a legend.
I'm on a running mission, a 12-year consecutive day running challenge whilst vlogging 5 kilometres every day, barefoot style, to try and build this journey and try and raise as much money as we possibly can. So please support me where you can, and most importantly, support charities like the Internet Watch Foundation, which genuinely make a difference to children's lives. So thanks a lot, guys, and you will, I promise you, be seeing a lot more of Mr. Neil Prowse. He is a true inspiration, and we'll see you very soon.
Thanks, see you soon.